Hello everybody, my name is Soji Cage and welcome to another video. Today we are going to today we are going to do a story time where I talk about some really dumb, stupid and idiotic shit from my past. I don't really know what yet. Okay, give me a second to think about that. I should have probably thought about that before I started this. Alright, idea. Just gonna do like a little life story type thing where I just like start from the beginning and tell you all the way to now from what I can remember. It's not going to be completely accurate. I'm not going to tell you everything because this is going to be one video. So I'll go into details in other story times about other stories that you hear from this. If you want to hear more about stories from this, just let me know. I have more stories anyway. I'm probably going to record a few more after this anyway, just so I can have some shit to upload in the next few days. So, I was told, at least this is from a very young age, a lot of this stuff was just what I was told. So I was told that once I was born, I was living with my mother, and her boyfriend at the time had abused me and shit. So I got taken away, put into foster care. Then my grandfather took me, so he had me since I was a baby. So I lived with him for a while. We moved around a lot when I was really young. Then once I started getting older, which was where I started remembering more things. I remember always being outside riding my bike, always being outside, or always playing with my toys upstairs, or doing stuff in the attic. And I didn't have many friends. I didn't have any friends that lived around me anyway. We lived in this, my house was built in the center of a cemetery. Right down the street, there was a little church type thing, and then it was a big cemetery. And then my house was down the street in the center of it, pretty much. And I would just ride my little, remember those little freaking bikes that look like a motocross dirt bike? I was riding that bike all the time. I was just freaking riding it all the time. So yeah, after a while, I grew up a little bit, and then started seeing that my grandfather's girlfriend or whatever at the time, she left. They split up. I think we stayed there for another 2 years, and I visited them every now and then, not doing much. I've seen some family before we left, and then we talked about coming here. He legit told me he was going to die soon, and I needed to be up there so I could be with my mother when he goes. And I was not processing death at the time, so I was I don't want to be with my mother. I want to be with you. He was my father and shit. That's what I seen him as, even though he was just my grandfather. But so we moved to Florida. From New Jersey or Tennessee or some shit, because that's where we moved from. And so we got here. we moved into this ratchet hood ass trailer park. Like it was 13 trailers at most, and it was just freaking ghetto as hell. I remember like the people that like lived like the third house down, but it was like across the street because we were like the one of the only houses on the other side of the road, which was weird. I don't remember there being any other houses over there. I just remember there it was us, and then over here there was a bunch of houses, like a few houses line in a row. So it was a white dude, like three white dudes and one African American guy. They all live in the house, all freaking ghetto as hell, wearing hats, freaking fake gold, diamond out, blinged out shit. They would smoke all the time. I'd freaking go hang out with them because those were the only fucking people. I was like, let me go hang out with them. I was like 7, like not. I was still innocent as hell. I didn't know shit, so I just was hanging out, chilling with them all the time. I became the little homie of the group. Freaking, I didn't like smoke or anything then. I wasn't freaking doing anything, smoking cigarettes, doing any dumb shit then. But like one of the days I walked out, the black guy was fucking a girl in the car, and I walked up. I was like, they fucking, and I walked back. I walked out like 15 minutes later, and then he was getting out. He was out, and the other guys was there, and then she was in the car naked, and I seen her. I was like, damn, I'm fucking stepping in to see titties. Oh shit. Anyway, like we were only there for a couple months, and then like before we moved, I told them, all right, I'm moving out, and they were like, all right, the boys gave me a hat, a watch, and some other fucking shit. And I was like, that's what's up, homies. And I was just like out of there. And we moved to the park that I lived in, the trailer park. I lived in that trailer park for almost like 10 to 11 years, my G. I was going wild up in that bitch. So when I got there with my grandfather, we got a little tiny freaking trailer from my great grandma, and we moved in freaking there was at the time it was like more of an old people's homes, so there wasn't a lot of children, but like after a while they started allowing more children, and then the only children that moved in were like at first were like teenagers, so I started hanging out with the teenagers again. I started hanging out with older people for the second time, but that time when I started hanging out with them, I started smoking cigarettes. I started smoking weed. Keep in mind, I was 8 years old. Started smoking weed, freaking getting into trouble, freaking fighting, causing in trouble, freaking stealing, freaking breaking into places, getting in all sorts of trouble. Fast forward a couple years, we moved into one of the nicer mobile homes that was in the place. And I'm still getting in trouble. Even I was a bad kid at this point, like 10, 11, 12, around that area. I was a bad kid, smoking weed all day, every day, freaking stealing shit, freaking bullying kids, fucking just being the freaking runner, like the freaking gang lord of the freaking park. Like I was a little child, but like I was just stealing weed, selling it, freaking trading it for cigarettes, freaking doing whatever. When I was like a G. Like the older kids were coming to me for weed, and I was like, I got you. I would freaking go over there, freaking smoke out, freaking hang out with the kids. Oh yeah, at one point there was these houses in the neighborhood that I had set on fire. Like there were abandoned houses in like a field, but I set one of them on fire, and I broke into the other one and just destroyed everything, threw paint all over the place. a bunch of other kids were like destroying that one with us, so I wasn't feeling as bad about that one. But the other one, I completely did by myself. I burnt that place down. Not saying it's a good thing. Don't be fucking playing with fire and getting yourself in jails for arson and shit. But yeah, it was freaking dumb as hell. Freaking at one point I was one of my mom's boyfriends. He had like three or four kids, and like one of them was like my best friends at the time. We were getting in trouble all the time. Like I wasn't smoking with them, but I was still smoking all the time. So I was like high as hell, and he was like, "Let's go play at the freaking school, like the freaking elementary school down the street." So we hopped the fence. Realized nobody was there because it was like some fucking day. I don't remember. It was like the weekend, and then there were plus like holiday, so they weren't going to be there for a while. We had the smart idea to take a hammer, go back, grab a hammer, and then we broke into the place. At first, we broke the glass, and then he got cut. So I was like, "Fuck, we got to get in here." So I took the hammer and I started pounding on the doorknob of the place, and it just like clicked open, and I was like, "Hell yeah, that's what's up." So we freaking got in, cleaned his cuts, freaking bandaged it up. So there was the two classrooms, because they were conjoined classrooms. They were loaded, so we stole like three Apple laptops, like the old white Apple laptops that you'd see, and then freaking two Canon cameras, like really nice school cameras. Like, not like school cameras, like the teachers probably bought them, but they were like nice Canon cameras. And then, dude stole the fucking gerbil, the guinea pig or whatever, the class pet. And that was fucking hilarious. But yeah, oh yeah, and they had Legos. I stole the Legos because I fucking love Legos, so I stole the Legos. And then we got out of there. We went home, and they were like, "Where'd you get all this?" And we were like, "Found it on the side of the curb." And then they were like, maybe. But then they seen the gerbil. They're like, nah, no kid's finna leave their gerbil on the side of the road. Like, what the fuck? Where'd you get this shit? And then we were like, "You stole it." And they were like, "Take it back, take it all back, take it all back." And then we fucking hopped the fence, took it back. And then on our way over there, one of the old ladies sitting outside was like, "We gonna call the cops on you. You better not be breaking in there." And then we were like, "Okay." We fucking hopped the fence. We took it all back. And then on our way back, the cops were there. He took off. I was like, "Fuck." So I just stood there, freaking got put in the back of the car. A couple weeks later, I went to court, and then everything was cleared over. I was young. Didn't get charged because we tried to take it back. So that was that. I always got caught stealing. I was stealing all the time. That wasn't the first time, and it definitely wasn't the last. I did it plenty of times. Just done it recently. No, I'm saying it's a good thing. But shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. I'm talking about shit that in the past, nervousness. Yeah. Should probably slow down when I'm talking. I'm getting excited. So there was all that, and then like after that, like I was stealing more weed from my grandfather. He ended up going to jail for selling pills. He got caught because one of the guys down the road died from pills, overdosed, and then he got caught off of his own cameras of them going down there selling and then coming back. So there was suspicion of shit, and then they caught him on that. And then so him, my grandfather, and my uncle went to jail. And so I went to live with my mother for a little bit. It was horrible. Fucking hated it. She was a bitch. Her roommates were a bitch. She went to jail. The roommates were horrible. They went to jail and tried to leave, so had to be placed with somebody. I met up with an older guy that I used to sell weed to, and then after a few weeks, like the DCF people, I asked me where I wanted to go, and I said with the older guy that I was selling weed to. We hung out, freaking smoking bowls and shit, freaking smoking cigs like always, and then like a week or two later, they came back and he was like, okay, I don't really think I can hold him here forever. So he talked to his daughter-in-law and had me move in there with them and her boyfriend, which are now my parents. And then I was still getting in trouble a little bit, but I kept that until I was just drinking, smoking, hiding it from them, getting into trouble like a little bit, but not as bad. I smartened up a little bit, and then I grew up, and then fuck off. I'm here, y'all seeing some shit. Yeah, those were some stories. I smoke. I've been smoking weed since I was 8 years old. I've done so many drugs that I shouldn't have, just being stupid before I was even 18. I've done more drugs before I was 18 than after I was 18. Like I'm glad I stopped. Like I did experiment a little bit after, but I don't do that much anymore. I just smoke my weed and fucking I do whatever. I freaking smoke my weed. So if y'all got a problem with that, unsubscribe and suck a twat. Because I don't care. This is my channel. I'll do what I want. If you don't like it, go away. But I'm sure you will like it because I'm cool. I'm funny. No, I'm not. I'm cool. No, I'm not. I'm human. No, I'm not. I'm not even that. Yeah, I can't even say I'm alive either. I exist, I think. There you go. I think I exist. So please like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the videos, share the posts that I post on my social medias, share it with your friends, share. And most of all, thank you all for subscribing. All y'all that have been subscribing, and thank you all so much. Y'all, that makes big preach. Anyway, keep in tune for the new videos coming to futures. I will be coming for you under your bed while you're sleeping. Goodbye.